Alright, what's up guys, RoyalZProduction here, and today we're going over a different type of review or tutorial. We're making a video called why videographers should go to the gym. So I'm here with Adam, Divergent Training. I've been on his programs now for about 1.5 to 2 years, and I made some awesome progress at the gym. And not only have I made good aesthetics progress and strength progress, but it's also helped me a lot with my day-to-day shooting, being a full-time filmmaker.
So to kind of go off of what Andy was saying when he said, being on my programming has helped him physically and mentally, Andy came to me, like I said, about 1.5 years ago, saying, my back, my arms, my shoulders are kind of hurting while I'm on set, 10-hour sets, whatever they may be. So I kind of customized the program for him, specifically for him and his lifestyle and his work. And since then, his strength and conditioning has went through the roof. It's helped him for all his work on his sets. There was a time that he was saying, he did a long set and he couldn't get out of bed the next day. His back was hurting so much, which you can go into actually, out of that.
Yeah, literally, I remember probably 2 years ago, before I had even gone to the gym before, it was just a car event recap. It was about a 5 or 6 hour day, and I was using a gimbal the entire day. And granted, I was 115 pounds and running around with this thing, and no word of a lie, I'm doing all these weird motions where I'm bending down all day long, and I'm just getting weird angles, my shoulders are just destroyed, my back's destroyed. I remember I was supposed to go out that night with my friends. I literally laid down and just passed out. And honestly, after hitting the gym every single day, I'm very consistent with coming here, and no word of a lie, I'll hit the gym, or I'll hit a set for 5, 6, 7, 10 hours straight, and I'm using gimbals, I'm moving gear around, I'm hauling things around the entire day and all through the night, and I'll end up hitting the gym and having an awesome lift by the end of the night, and I'll feel perfectly fine the next morning. So it's definitely helped with my strength and conditioning, 100%. Just being on Adam's program, he's tailored it towards my lifestyle, like he said. I want Adam to kind of look at these different positions that I'm in and show me really good, easy workouts that even you can do at the gym to basically just increase my stamina as a videographer on sets, just giving me an easier time while I'm on sets and shooting super long videos.
So anyways, without further ado, we're going to get into a workout here, and we'll kind of just break things down as we get moving. Like I said, Andy will show a position and movement that he typically does. We'll break it down step by step and kind of run you guys through it.
Okay, so first thing I'll go over is I guess when I'm shooting music videos, for instance, or even a corporate edit where I'm doing if I'm following somebody mic'd up and I have to hold the gimbal at a certain position for more than 2 minutes, the front of my shoulders start to kill, my upper back starts to kill my lower back. Usually when I'm in a position like this, or if I'm running a music video scene and I have to keep the gimbal nice and steady throughout the whole entire scene, and because I just don't want to miss a shot, right? So I'm constantly just holding the gimbal out here, and I'm getting super smooth panning motions, but that takes a toll on my shoulder.
For sure, and keeping that stabilization. So definitely, you're just talking about straight shoulders for the most part on all this, right? Holding them up here, holding them down here, trying to keep that stable, trying to keep it firm the whole time, right? That's a lot of shoulder movement, especially that front deltoid. So your shoulders split up into 3 muscles right here: the front delt, side delt, rear delt. We'll keep things as basic as we can today. I'm not really getting into the anatomy lessons or anything. I don't want to complicate anything, so we're just going to keep it really generic. Shoulders, that's what we're going to start with. That's what's helping them out with the stabilization, especially holding things up like this, right? That's your shoulder movement, keeping it easy like that. So let's just get into some front raises. Typical front raises, you can do these. We'll show you a couple of different alternatives. So we're going to do some cables, dumbbells, and we'll kind of move on from there. So first we're going to start with a front cable raise. Now before we get into anything, I'm a firm believer on mind to muscle connections in the gym, okay? Rather than just using momentum and using your brothers and sisters that wrap around the muscle to just move the weight. Let's start to move with intention, okay? I want you guys thinking about what you're doing in the gym, and that's what's helped Andy. If you look at his transformation, which we can post somewhere on here, it wasn't that long that took him to go from point A to point B. A transformation like that normally takes a beginner, quite a while, right? It's because we see that same individual going to the gym and just going through the motions, not focusing on the negatives, which we'll get to, and not worried about the tension of the exact muscle. It's more or less okay, my program says, let's do, front cable raises and up, down, and you just get worried about, okay, it wants 10 reps, let's get 10. 10. You keep that in your head, and that's all you worry about without worrying about what you're doing. And yes, I'm just making sure your time spent in the gym is very efficient and very effective. So Andy, without further ado, let's get you into this. Okay. So front cable raise is going to face this way, have it through the legs, step over top, be nice and close. Go. So from here, he's got a narrow grip. You can come in a little bit more narrow if you want. Sure. You can always widen out the grip too. I prefer narrow. Sitting right on the front delt. So from here, chest is high, nice and easy, coming up to eye level. right there. And then here's the negative I was talking about. Slowing down and focusing on the front of the shoulder as Andy lowers that weight, rather than, which we typically see in the gym, say let's 90% of the people, right, think this is just the rep, the concentric, the positive up here, and we forget about this part, and you just let it crash down and use momentum to swing at the hips and go up. Exactly. We don't want no swing, no momentum. If you're doing that, the weight's too high. Leave the ego at the door, drop the weight, and just get into it, right? We're just focused on this small muscle here, and let's get it. Try it out. Up, eye level, nice and slow. Okay, generally speaking, for a negative, you don't need to just get stuck on the numbers, but I like to give it, say, 2, 3, 4 seconds on that negative, depending on how much you want to actually burn, depending on the movement. But as you can see, he's taking a good 2 or 3 seconds as he lowers this weight. And all that tension rests right in that front delt, and that's all shoulders.
And this is exactly where I feel like that tension when I'm using a gimbal or even running a handheld setup. Like when I come to the top here, and I'm really like focusing on that front delt, like that's the exact same pain that I'll feel, or like tension that I'll feel when I'm running a gimbal after like a good solid minute or two of using it. So
especially for like vlogging too. You know,
yeah, for vlogging
that
too,
one arm right there. Like that's straight front delt, right?
Sure.
Holding it right out like here, down here. That's your front delt all day long, right?
Yeah.
Front of the shoulder. A lot of people might have an imbalance. The right arm might be stronger than the left, left stronger than the right, whichever it may be. So unilateral movements, let me switch this weight, are obviously a lot harder because you're not using both your arms, you're using just one muscle at a time. So you gotta drop that weight nice and light, but it allows you to focus in and hone in on each muscle at hand. So we're gonna go here, step up to the side, grab this. It's gonna be the same form, and as you're gonna see, Andy, chest is gonna be high, front delt again, just using his right arm, same thing, eye level, coming up, and then he's focusing on that same front delt as he comes down. Bring it up, eye level again, pause, coming down for that 2 to 3 second negative, bringing it up, and same kind of thing. So switching up a unilateral movements into your programming is always beneficial, and I definitely recommend it because everybody has imbalances, whether you know it or not. And by doing unilateral movements, you definitely will notice, okay, well, this is seeming a lot more easier than this side. You know, so, like again, some people's imbalances are a lot more drastic, and you know, depending on the muscle group. But anyways, front cable raise from the straight bar over to a one-arm cable raise. Switch things up. Essentially the same movement. We did the straight bar cable, then we did the one arm on the cable. Now we're just gonna use dumbbells. Same kind of thing, different kind of leverage behind it. So with this, again, we can do bilateral, doing it at the same time. But the cool thing with dumbbells, obviously, you have equal amount of weight in each arm, right? So each arm is holding 10 pounds, obviously. So you know you can do alternating, one, or go at the same time, whichever you prefer. So we'll get Andy to demonstrate both, so go both at the same time. Up, again, all front delts, that's slow negative. It's easy to get away, especially with the dumbbells, just letting them drop and use momentum. And as you see, we're not allowing that to happen. Fully strict, good form, chest is high, and all on that front delt, right? Then you can switch over to an alternate.
Yep.
One side, nice and slow. Other side, nice and slow. You get the gist. Same kind of thing, right? Okay,
so yeah,
cool.
even like when I'm on set, again, holding a gimbal, very relatable. Like when I'm doing that exercise, let's say I have the gimbal, like I'm sitting there, I'm holding it for maybe a few minutes or waiting to set up a scene or something, and you know, I'm whipping the gimbal up like this, you know, that's using my delt, like I'm lifting this up all the time. Or if I'm down here and I'm trying to get like a nice smooth pan motion, yeah, it's all delt. After training my shoulders a lot, like I really don't have those pains anymore, so it's pretty simple to kind of get the shots now. So
you got some standard behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do it throughout the whole shoot,
100%.
which is nice. So
yeah,
cool. We're gonna do body weight hyperextensions on this machine, and we'll also do weighted hyperextensions for when you know the body weight doesn't seem like it's enough. We start to get a little stronger. We'll add a weight in there, but we'll start with the body weight first. And then actually I'll do what is called a banded good morning. If you don't have this machine and you just have resistance bands laying around at home, there's another good movement. It's another alternative which we'll show later on here.
The reason why I feel that this is probably one of the most important is like when I first picked up a gimbal, and even to this day, my first thought was, oh, okay, cool. Now I can get a low shot that's also steady, because you can't really, like, it's the most difficult shot to get handheld is when you're low to the ground and moving. So that's why you're gonna purchase a gimbal to get those types of shots. So when you are getting the lower shots, it's like you sacrifice your form, right? Like you're bent over and you're moving around, you're tensing your back so you can keep the gimbal steady, and it just puts it takes a toll on your lower back. Like my back is already like hurting by just doing this.
Just watching that.
Yeah, because I was using a gimbal like all day today. I was shooting some fitness video early today, and I was using a gimbal for like 3 hours straight. And you know, there's so many shots I was getting where I'm like bending over and I'm like walking around like this. I'm like walking back like this, and it's just constant pressure on my lower back, which kind of like comes up into my upper back as well. But I know, yeah, it's a lower back exercise. It's great.
Okay, so first things first, we're gonna get Andy in here, and we're gonna see. So actually, get your heels back here, right on the platform where they are. That's where you want them. Now, where are your hip bones? They're up top.
Up top here, yeah.
Okay, so that's a little bit high. You want this pad right below his hip bones. So as you see, that's a little high. So we're gonna bring this up. We'll get you out of here. You can put this up. Arms, wrap around the shoulders. Okay, now neck stays stable. You got a lot of people that like to look down or try to look up at themselves in the mirror like this and keep that neck completely kinked the whole time. I don't like that. Keep the neck right in line with the spine. Let's cut the body in half, coming down, nice and easy. Tension right on the lower back, driving up. And you don't need to hyperextend too far, right up to there, exactly. Squeeze that lower back and coming back down. Breathing in, exhale, and come right to there. Breathe in, feel that extension, come up, shorten that back, squeeze. Breathe in, stretch from here, driving up, squeeze, right?
Yeah.
Go again. Good. Now we'll grab a weight. So grab it onto a plate now, making things a little bit harder. Again, just gonna strap it across the chest, wrap it up, nice and easy. Form still applies, stretch that back out, exhale, come up with a squeeze. Breathe in, allow that weight to pull you down, drive it up. Easy, nice. Go again. Same thing, cool. So now we have banded good mornings here, which we're going to Andy to demonstrate. So these are good for if you're at home, you don't have that hyperextension machine, which we just showed, or you're just even at the gym, you want to change things up. It's a good alternative. So we're going to get Andy to get under here, wrap it around your neck, nice and deep, kind of sitting on that middle trap, lower trap area. Drive up first, standing up with it. Now there's a lot of tension. You can see your hands sit on the band here. So what I want here, Andy's going to bend his knees slightly. And now from the hips down, that's going to stay concrete. What's going to happen then, he's just going to tilt, shift his hips, kick his butt back to this wall back here, shift right over and right down. All that tension on this lower back, and you're going to drive through, chest high, right there. So get that side view. So come down again. See all that tension going through here, drive through, and up. You're also going to feel this into your hamstrings.
Yeah.
Try to use that mind and muscle connection and just go right on here. Keep that contraction strong on that lower back.
Yeah.
Good. Again, shift the hips back, drive through, and squeeze. Nice. It's good. Good. Yeah, those are tough.
Holy fuck.
You can tell it. Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I wanted to go over with Adam was I brought up that like my forearms are sometimes on fire when I'm shooting as well. So whether I'm like hauling really heavy, like a heavy Pelican case around my shoots, and like even like holding my gimbal, if I'm just standing there for like, 10-15 minutes holding my gimbal, there's a point where like I don't even want to hold it anymore. It's like sitting on my fingertips because my forearm starts hurting. I'm switching arms all the time.
I've never been a guy to isolate the forearms, do like forearm wrist curls, right, where you grab a dumbbell, go like this, curl them up, and pump the forearms up, because I personally feel like it's kind of a waste of time. And I say that because your forearms, when training properly, again, training with intention, get indirectly hit, especially on back days, but also, all the muscle groups. So what I did was I incorporated heavier one-arm dumbbell rows, which we're going to show you in Andy's programming, every day. So I literally give credit to the one-arm dumbbell rows that we put into Andy's plan, on a daily basis, to Andy's, grip strength that he has now, based off of how we kind of programmed it. Okay, so first things first, we're going to Andy's knee up on the bench, as you can see. So actually, if you can come around here and show from this side here, I want to show you what I call a long stance. So naturally speaking, when I tell people to get into a one-arm dumbbell row, what ends up happening is, you want to show them? They'll get like this. So what's going on here is, they like it, so the stance is back here, their foot is back, they're kind of up on their toe, their foot isn't kind of pressed into the ground, right? They're losing stabilization, they're losing a lot of strength from this exercise. I'm not necessarily saying this is wrong, there's just better ways to do it. So instead of that long stance, what I like to do is, what I generally tell people, so take a step forward and then step out, be wide, be over top of the dumbbell, okay? Now he's gonna have this foot planted right on the side of him, plant that foot down there, a slight bend in his knee, you see his back is straight. Now this is the most important thing. What we'll generally see, coming up, we'll have the rainbow back. Bring it out, show him back. You'll generally see this. That's natural, right? For people to kind of be rounded over like this. and you're setting your lower back up to be vulnerable and set up for injury, which we don't want. So first things first, I want that slight bend in the knee, okay, and the hips are kicked back. As you can already see, his butt's kicked back to this wall over here. His back is nice and straight. He's got that leg out in front of him, so now he's over top of the weight and he's ready to roll. So you're gonna grab onto the dumbbell. Now, what your goal is from here, you wanna use your lat, you're gonna roll your elbow back into your hips, right? A rowing motion. Now go up for the stretch that lat and drive it back, exactly. Fully stretch that lat, right? Right back, contract, okay? So, as you can see, he's doing this, and talk about grip strength, right? As I said, if we go up in the weight, he's grabbing a 50 now, we would typically go up to a 70, or 60, sorry, 70, 80, so on and so forth, going from there. But as you can see, his form is super strict. He's got a stretch here, he's got a contraction, his back stays tight throughout the entire movement. Good.
Okay, so another thing that I kind of brought to Adam's attention, obviously we kind of touched on it before, but it was my upper back pain that I would get when shooting. Bent down all the time like this, and like we said, I'd get that lower back pain, but it's a lot of upper back pain as well, especially when you're doing this like all night long or all day long. Honestly, even when I'm up like this, like it's pressure on the front delts like we touched on, but like this is also like
well, your traps and everything shrug right up, right?
Yeah, like because I'm always like this. You always see filmmakers holding a gimbal up like this at eye level. So you know, this definitely kind of hurts after a while, like after 2 or 3 minutes of this exact movement and not moving the gimbal at all. Like there's a lot of lactic acid buildup, and it's just like sitting here for like 3
trying to keep it stable, right?
Yeah.
That's the
like
goal.
it sucks.
Right? We're gonna get into cable face pulls here. So, and he's gonna grab onto here, back up, take one step back. I like one foot in front of the other. So from here, it's also, so what we're gonna work on here, I just wanna break this down. He's gonna be pulling with his rear delt, which is gonna be the back of his shoulder, but you're also gonna see his traps are gonna flex hard. It's gonna be into his middle back and his rhomboid area, but also his upper back, right? So we're targeting, generally speaking, this entire upper back area. Rear delt, rhomboid, lower trap, upper trap, everything, right? So driving his elbows, he's gonna lead with his elbows and drive them back towards me. And you can see this is fully contracted here, hard as a rock. This guy's made of steel. You're gonna come back in, stretch it out, right? The rear delts are gonna stretch, lead with his elbows again, initiate it from here, squeeze the whole contraction, all into his traps, rear delts, rhomboids, release, right? Tension goes, and he pulls right back. Talk about that negative, look at it again. He's not just letting that cable jolt forward, it's all tension both ways. At no point in time are these muscles not under tension. Even in that stretch position, here he is in the contracted position, he stretches, full tension, drive, full contraction, it stays under tension.
Okay, so another muscle that would just start killing on set, and honestly still does to this day, is biceps. So I feel this a lot, obviously when I'm holding a gimbal up like this, and when I'm going handheld a lot of the times too, but I kind of notice that my body is always just under tension, especially when I'm getting handheld shots, because you're still trying to keep the camera as steady as possible. So I'm sitting here and like my biceps are like flexed the entire time while I'm getting, I don't even notice it, right, when I'm shooting.
Right,
like I'm not thinking about that, but I am. And then at the end of the scene, I'm like, oh my God, like my arms are killing me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, you don't realize, hold on, it's stabilization. Again, I know I just keep putting my 2 cents in about it, but I mean, that's the name of the game for you guys. And doing that, right, fully contracted, to almost, squishing that camera in, right? You're trying to keep that,
even like this, like I'm
100%.
contracting, like,
rock solid, rock solid, right? Okay, cool. So knowing that, again, there's so many other, bicep exercises that we can do as there are with back. But the thing with biceps is, once you learn the proper way to do an actual curl, which we're going to show you, there's hundreds of exercises that you can go based off of that same fundamental or the basics that you're going to do on that curl. It's just a different positioning of the grips, from dumbbells to cables, whatever you're going to do. So we're going to get into how to do a proper curl right now. Okay, so when doing a curl, what we don't want to do is the swinging, right? Getting the hips involved, getting the shoulders involved, moving. Again, moving with intention, right? We want to keep the shoulders out of it. We want to keep the hips out of it. First things first, roll those shoulders back, okay? Keep them tight, the chest stays high. Now, as you can see, he's got a slight bend in his elbow, and his elbows are glued to his side and they're out in front. They're already under tension. Again, at no point in time throughout this entire movement should his biceps not be under tension. Right now he feels them, okay? So we're gonna initiate the pull of the bicep from here, squeeze, shorten that bicep axis if we're trying to stretch that bicep, and then drive it in and shorten it. That's all we're doing. Stretch, contract, stretch, contract. So he's gonna start from here, he's gonna lead with his palms and drive them right in, right? Full bicep contraction, and then again, the most important part, let that pull in the bicep on the way down, right? Back up, driving the palms in, hold that squeeze, come down nice and slow, and get that pull all the way down. Bring it up, shorten that bicep as short as you can, come down, lengthen it out, let's get one more, drive it up. Good, and as you can see, his elbows stay close to his sides at all time, and we're not, you can put that down now. Yep. There's none of this, right? That he's sitting here from here, and what we typically see in the gym, and you've probably done it yourself, is this, right? This movement here. That's shoulder. Again, we're trying to isolate that bicep, so keep them glued in as if you were doing a shot, like you said, right? They're staying right tight to the side. You're fully contracted, so keep those elbows in tight here, grab onto the bar, use that bicep just to lift. This is the movement right here. From here to here, and it's not this.
Even thinking about those cues too, I did 4 reps at what, like 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Like usually like I rep out like, I don't know, for working sets like 60s, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is like an extra 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm already feeling it in my biceps, just like controlling that negative. I really feel like that isolation.
The negative's everything. The negative's everything. So, you know, if you guys leave it even just one thing, if you already go to the gym and maybe you haven't really focused on your negatives, just do that. You know, like honestly start with that. Like start incorporating and focusing on your negatives of all movements. It's just gonna, you know, tenfold your whole training.
Another thing I want to mention too is I like doing like the hypertrophy style of exercises that you kind of offer and talk about the most, just because like it is a little bit of like lighter weight, to be honest, higher reps, lighter weight, but at the end of the day too, I've never been injured at the gym. Sure, I'm not like the biggest dude, but it's enough for me to like get by very comfortably when I'm on set working and like doing my thing. I've never, and like if I'm injured, like if I throw a shoulder out, if I throw my back out, I can't work, right?
Let me just spin off on that though. Like yes, it's lighter weight in comparison to, you know, strength athletes. Say training for like anywhere between say 3 to 6 reps per set, right? What he's saying as far as like lighter weight goes is it's still a weight that Andy can use or any individual on that program can use. And let's say the rep range is 8 to 12. You're grabbing a weight that you're just getting 8 to 12 on, right? Under the given tempos that we're given, right? And that means just controlling that negative, you know, and squeezing hard on that positive, right? It doesn't mean, oh, okay, I need to get 12 reps, so let's grab, you know, the 10-pound weight and get to 12, and then you just, you know, throw it away after that, right? He's just meaning it's lighter than on, you know, say if I provided someone with a strength program, right? You're still trying to push yourself to, you know, to the most. Never sacrifice form for weight, but use as much weight as you can, right?
For sure.
Yeah, cool. For sure. Now we're going to go to some standing cable curls. So the same form applies, all the fundamentals, everything. His elbows are going to stay in tight. He's going to lead with his palms. It's all going to be isolated under his bicep. You can grab that wider grip, more narrow grip, whatever you want. Again, his elbows stay here. As you can see, they're out in front. That full tension is here. His chest is high. His shoulders are rolled back. Everything still applies like it did for the standing easy bar curl. He's going to go up, drive the palms up.
I'm going to take a step back.
Yeah. Drive it in, hold that squeeze, focus on that negative, and come down into that full stretch. Again, come up, squeeze, focus on that negative, fight it down, and then drive up.
Okay, so that's a wrap on our video on why I feel that filmmakers should be hitting the gym. Not only did Adam take us through, you know, a bunch of workouts that you can do that I felt have helped me as a filmmaker, you know, being on set, hauling gear around, holding a gimbal, going handheld all the time. You know, these exercises have really helped me. However, the gym has also really helped my creativity with filmmaking as well. And I think that's honestly the most important thing. I mean, like, you know, it's nice, you know, gaining strength and, you know, the physical activity behind it. But, you know, honestly, when I'm sitting there editing for like sometimes like 15, 16 hours straight and like literally just leaving my room to go to the washroom and come back, like, you know, I need to get away, and I feel like the gym is just like a nice kind of like outlet.
It's a hormonal release too, right?
Exactly. Like, you know, I come here for like hour and a half straight. I just like plug my phone in, or my headphones in, and just like get a good lift in, and I just feel great after. And it's honestly the most productive getaway as well.
You know, you said this being a productive, you know, getaway. Yeah. This is, I know for me, and I can only imagine for you, my only time of day to where I can come and literally press the delete button and just get everything out of my head, focus on the muscle at hand, right? And it's just you time, right? Anywhere else I go, there's always something going on, projects, whatever else.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are going everywhere, and here it's therapy, right?
Yeah.
Clear the head, go in here, even if it's just 45 minutes to an hour, get it done. It clears the head, you leave, you feel refreshed, you're more creative. Like I said, there's that hormonal release. 100%. You feel so empowered leaving the gym. Yeah. There's so many ups to it on the mental side of things, you know, not only the physical side, right?
Yeah, and even what you just said too, like the creativity that I have, like when I come here, or like the creative ideas that I get, like this idea to do this video, the idea to do the last video we did here as well, where we did the workout, or how to shoot a workout video, or how to shoot awesome workout B-roll. Like I literally got those ideas when I was here at the gym. Yeah. So that's where a lot of my YouTube content ideas will come from. That's where I'll get like music video treatment ideas just randomly, and I'll just write them down like while I'm here. So it's just like an amazing outlet.
So many apps.
Yeah.
So many apps to it.
So you guys, I hope you liked that video. A little different than what you normally see in the channel, but I thought it was kind of an important tutorial to make, and something that I haven't actually seen on YouTube yet. So yeah, thanks again, Adam, for coming out and doing this. It was an awesome video. Adam also just dropped a new workout, a subscription program, so you should talk a little bit about that too, because I'm actually currently on that as well. So
DVT 365 is just $7 a month, and I actually just release my workout every day that I'm doing. People can follow along with my split and my workouts. It's scalable to anyone and everyone, whether you're male, female, beginner, expert, doesn't really matter. Again, I teach you how to scale it back. If it's too intense, just scale it back a bit. Hence, for example, if I'm doing 5 sets on exercise, just do 3, just do 2, right? Bring it back. The workouts are all detailed. Again, I upload it every single morning. It's all video based. Like I said, we got like 250 videos plus. There's a tutorial library, so you know exactly what you're doing. All the form that we did, today is on every single exercise, right? So you can follow along with that, or like I said, just send me a message on my Instagram. Hit me up on DV Training, and I can kind of detail in a program like I did with Andy here, based off of your lifestyle too, if you wanted something like that. But again, that's DVT 365. It's $7 a month. You can sign up. He'll have the link kind of in the description down below, and we'll kind of go from there.
So yeah, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.